Good morning students, I am Professor Rajeshwari Sharma here and I welcome you all to e-learning session of GS College of Commerce, Verna. So today we are going to discuss the importance of elasticity of demand, which is our last topic under the chapter elasticity of demand. And so today we are going in previous lectures we have dealt with the meaning, concept of elasticity of demand, then the various types of elasticity of demand, then the various factors determining various factors affecting the elasticity of demand, and then the various methods of measuring the price elasticity of demand, various degrees of price elasticity of demand. Today we are going to see the importance of elasticity of demand, and if I talk about the examination point of view, so this topic is very important as it is asked for the 8 marks question. So today we will be seeing the importance of elasticity of demand. So first one over here is helps in pricing decision. See, pricing or the price is one of the very important factor which determines the demand for the product in the market. Generally, the law of demand says that when the prices of the products are higher, the demand for the products are lower, and when the prices of product declines or prices of the products are lower, so the demand for the product increases or the demand for the products are higher. So pricing is one of the very crucial factor. It is one of the very crucial marketing mix that helps to determine the demand for the product in the market. So when we talk about the pricing decisions, so while making the pricing decision of a product of a firm, the concept of elasticity of demand is very important. So now the question is how the concept of elasticity of demand helps in making pricing decision. So what we learn in elasticity of demand? In elasticity of demand, we learn how much change is going to be there in a demand of a particular commodity due to change in price. Here we see the degree of change. We see how much change is going to be there in the demand of a particular product or commodity due to change in the price. So here we can say that when we know the demand for the product is relatively less elastic or inelastic, so what will happen? Even though the price of that product will increase in the market, still their demand will not be getting too much impacted. Even though you are charging the high prices, still if the demand is inelastic, so there will be no much impact on the demand of that product. So when the demand for the particular product or commodity is relatively less elastic or inelastic, so in such case the producer can charge the high prices. But on the other hand, if the demand for the product is elastic in nature, means if you are bringing very negligible change in price, still the demand is showing the huge impact. Still the demand is increasing or decreasing or changing to a great extent. In such case, the prices should be low for the commodity in the market, because if you are going to charge the high price, there will be very low demand for your product in the market. So in this way, the concept of elasticity of demand helps in making the pricing decision. The next one is helps in determination of wages. See, generally when we talk about the factors of production, so labor is one of the very important factor of production, and for labor the returns are wages. As a return to the factor of production, laborers are given wages. So when the labor manufactures some product and the demand for that product in the market is relatively less elastic or inelastic, where the change in prices doesn't lead to large proportionate change in demand for that product. So in that case, the wages for that laborer should be high, because the demand for the product produced by that labor is inelastic. So, and in the case where the labors are producing those products for which the demand is elastic, means the price changes also leads to huge change in demand. Huge changes in price is having huge impact on demand. So in that case, the prices of those laborers, means the wages given to those laborers should be low. If we consider another case, if the laborers are doing some special kind of work, they are producing some special kind of goods which cannot be done by the other laborers in the market. They are doing some special kind of task for which the laborers are not available in abundant quantity in the market. So in such case, their prices should be, the wages given to the laborers should be higher. And in case the laborers are doing the general task, laborers are doing such type of task for which the laborers are available in abundant quantity in the market. So in such case, the price should be the low for laborers. So in this way, the concept of elasticity of demand also helps us in determination of wages, as wages is one of the important factor while calculating the cost of business, and it has the impact on the profits of the business. The next one is useful in international trade. When we talk about the international trade, so here it refers to the exports and the imports. Suppose the demand for your product in international market is inelastic. So in such case, you can charge high price for your product, because even though the prices are high in the international market, still the demand won't be impacted to a large extent for your product. So in that case, you can charge the high prices. But when we talk about the imports, so if the demand for the imported products in your market is elastic, means if the prices of the import increases, so the demand gets impacted by huge extent. If there is the rise in the price of product to a certain extent, so demand will decline to a high extent. So in this way, if the demand for the imported product in your market is elastic, so in that case it's going to be beneficial for you. And if the demand for the product that you are exporting is inelastic in the market, so you can charge high prices for your product. And in case the demand for your product is elastic in the international market, so you have to charge low price for your product. So this way it helps in international trade. Then we have in price discrimination by monopolist. So before understanding in price discrimination by monopolist, we have to understand the meaning of price discrimination. Price discrimination means when a producer is charging different price in the different markets for the same product. So it is price discrimination. For example, Vadilal ice cream is being sold in Maharashtra, in Gujarat as well as in Rajasthan. But the prices which are being charged for the same product, that is Vadilal ice cream, is different in Rajasthan, is different in Gujarat and different for Maharashtra. So this is the policy of price discrimination, because different prices are being charged for the same product in the different markets. So if the demand for a particular product is inelastic in particular market, so in that market a monopolist or the producer can charge the high prices, right? Because even though they will increase the prices in that market, still that as a response to that increase, the demand will not be impacted to a greater extent. And in case if the demand for a particular product in particular market is elastic, so due to change in price, the demand for product will also be impacted to a great extent. Means the change in price will bring greater change in the quantity demanded. So in that case, the price of that product should be low in that market. So in this way, it helps in making decision regarding the price discrimination. The next one is taxation policy. Generally, we know the tax is a major source of revenue for the government, and taxation policy is framed by the government, right? So when we talk about the inelastic products having inelastic demand, so on such products the government can charge high taxes as well, because due to charging tax, due to increasing the tax rates on a particular product, the prices of that product increases. And what does what does law of demand says? When the prices of the product increases, the demand for that product declines. But in case the demand for the product is inelastic, where the greater change in price brings very low change in the very low change in the quantity demanded, or the greater change in price brings very nominal change in the quantity demanded. In such case, the tax rate can be charged higher. But opposite is going to be there if the demand for the product is elastic. If you are charging the higher rate of taxes to a product, for a product having the elastic demand, so in such case, when the prices of that product will increase in the market, so demand will decline. So in case of the products having elastic demand, the tax rate should be low. So in this way, the concept of elasticity of demand also helps government in formulating taxation policies. Then the transport. See, when we talk about the transport, so it includes the various modes like railways, ships, etc. So, and transport is generally important for the carrying goods. So when I'm talking about the goods, so goods which are having the inelastic demand, when those goods are being carried by using the transport, so in such case the prices should be high, because when the goods are inelastic in nature, so even though the prices of those goods will increase due to the high transportation charges, still their demand will not be impacted to a great extent in the market. So in such case, higher transportation charges can be put, and the case where the goods are having such nature where the demand is elastic. So in such case, if you are going to put higher transportation charges on those goods, so the prices of those goods will increase, and when the prices of those goods will increase, so their demand would be declining in market in case the demand is elastic. So for those goods, the transportation charges should be low. So in this way, it also helps in making the decision regarding the transportation charges. The next one is helpful in adopting policy of protection. See, protection policy is generally provided to those industries for whose product the demand is elastic in nature. Means due to change in the prices of the commodity of those industries, there would be the greater change in the quantity demanded. If their price will increase, their demand will decline to the large extent. So generally the protection is given to such industries who faces the foreign competition and whose products are generally having elastic demand. So when subsidies are given to such industries, subsidies and grants are given to such industry, so what happens? The prices of their products declines in the market. So in response to the declined prices, due to change in the prices, due to decrease in the prices, the demand for their product increases in the market, as the demand for those commodities are elastic, right? So it also helps in making the policies regarding the protection. Means to whom the subsidies and grants can be given. Concept of elasticity of demand helps to recognize to whom the subsidies and grants should be provided, which industry should be given subsidies and grant, and which industry should not be given subsidies and grants. The next one is in demand forecasting. What is basically the demand forecasting? Demand forecasting means predicting the demand for your product in the market when it will be launched in future. It is the futuristic concept where you predict the demand for your product that is going to be launched in the market. So when we talk about the elasticity of demand, so here in demand forecasting, income elasticity plays very crucial role, because market is dynamic, right? Today the situation is different, and when you are going to launch your product after 1 or 2 months in the market, so the situation will change. So you need to understand the income elasticity of demand. in case the market situation changes and the income of your target market will decline. So what will happen? How is going to be their response to your product? Still will they prefer your product? So when we talk about the demand forecasting, so concept of income elasticity of demand plays very crucial role, so that demand forecasting can be accurate to some extent and there will be no problem like overproduction. The next one is the paradox of poverty. When we talk about the paradox of poverty, so what is paradox? Paradox means if something is going against to the set rules and the laws, so it is paradox. So when we are talking about the paradox of poverty, so here we will understand it with the help of an example. See, generally if the agricultural production of some agricultural products is very good for particular time period, for particular season, so what should happen? Income should increase, income of farmer, income of producer should increase, right? If the production is good, then the income should increase. But when we talk about the paradox of poverty, so what happens there? Even though the production of that product is increasing, even though the production of that product is good for a particular season, still the income of the producer decreases. Now why it happens? See, when we talk about the agricultural products, so generally they are having the inelastic demand, means even though their price declines to a great extent, their demand does not increase to a great extent, right? So in such case, even though the supply of this agricultural products increases in the market, still their demand does not increases in the market, and when the demand is constant and the supply is high, so their price declines in the market. Therefore, the income of the producer declines in the market. So, elasticity of demand also helps us to understand the paradox of poverty. So, these are the different points which indicates the importance of elasticity of demand in different areas for framing different policies. So, today we have completed our chapter Elasticity of Demand. In our next lecture, we will start with our next chapter, that is indifference curve. Till then, stay safe, keep studying. Thank you.